Quentin, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations on 3 of these fragrances. They're incredible.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us here, the inspiration for the fragrances. You spoke about these having a sort of childhood memory inspiration. Can you tell us about this island and about the inspiration?
It's an island that is in the south of France, and I was very lucky as a child to spend my holidays here. So my first memories of summer, the smells of summer, and a lot of different smells, the sand, the pine trees, the eucalyptus, the lavenders, all these very Mediterranean specific plants growing here made a strong impression when I was a child. So Caroline Javois had this same kind of memories about Porquerolles, this island, and we wanted to build a collection around our memories.
There's something really lovely about these, of being just really easy and almost like bohemian. There's some sort of real sort of like rough textures. And I think when we think of the south of France, we might think of something super polished, you know, like Monaco or Saint-Tropez, but these feel really lived in. How does that sort of play into it?
I think it has to see with Chloe. I think Chloe is a brand that is very effortless and natural and almost raw in a way.
Yeah.
But always sophisticated at the same time. So it's a bit paradoxical, but there is that in Chloe DNA. And I think this collection is really reflecting and encapsulating what is Chloe. Effortless, but sophisticated, natural, but very chic. And this collection being about Porquerolles, this remote place where just a few people can come with the boat with certain time, you know, timings in the day, and at night, if you miss the boat, you're just stuck on the island. And it's this idea of something very simple, very simple atmosphere, yet very complex atmosphere, because it's natural kind of sense that reflects a certain atmosphere, natural atmosphere. And so it was a work of simplicity and complexity at the same time.
And you're known for sort of luminous fragrances and fragrances with light. How do you bring your sort of, your DNA and the stuff that you do so well into a collection like this?
It was very easy because it's really the kind of DNA that trigger inspiration for me, because I really had to play with the ideas of airiness, lightness, luminosity, brightness, the idea of something very simple. So this speaks to me because I love minimalism and things that are very like sleek and simple in a way.
Yeah.
At the same time, full of facets. When we see the bottle with these facets, you wait for something yet simple but very sophisticated and with full of facets and full of layers in a way. And so it was a real pleasure for me because I think it suits completely the way I like to create perfumes.
Yeah, they marry perfectly, and it's just like the fragrances are incredible. My favorite is Sous le Pain. And Caroline was saying something in the masterclass about, you know, we all have these childhood memories and we've all grown up in different places, but that one sort of really plays into something which feels almost quite childlike in
Familiar,
that memory. Yeah, really familiar.
I think we all have, it's what I like with this collection. I think it speaks to a lot of people because it's very, again, simple smells, simple scents, or simple, inspired by simple things. And we all relate to a walk in the pine forests in summer. We all relate to very remote walks in like in these kind of beautiful landscapes, sandy beaches, and so on. And so it's a collection that speaks to us.
I don't want to misquote you, but in the masterclass you spoke about less ingredients, more vibes, and sort of more about a feeling when you're creating a fragrance. How do you marry that sort of, I suppose, the ingredients and I suppose the sciencey part with the emotion? Like, is there a balance?
Yes, it's a balance. For Sous les Pins, for example, we didn't want to create a perfume that was, it's a perfume created around pine tree and pine absolute and these kind of materials. But the difficulty of that is that you could end with a perfume that is too much centered around the ingredient and smelling too raw. We wanted to express an atmosphere. We wanted to express a feeling in the air. It's the feeling of the air surrounding you when you walk down the trees, down the pine trees, you know, in this forest in summer. And so it had to smell the sun. It had to smell dust. It had to smell crisp air. and pine trees. And there is a specificity here on Porquerolles. It's the eucalyptus. That we have pine trees, but we have eucalyptus as well. And it's really, Sous les Pins is this dialogue between conversation between pine tree and eucalyptus, which is very specific because eucalyptus is green. So it's a very green and refreshing, crispy fragrance.
I love that it's got this sort of the sparkling quality to it and that sort of resinous, piney. It's beautiful. I grew up in the northeast coast of Scotland, but it still has that sort of feeling to me and something that just feels so solar. Final question for you. How do you want people to feel when they're wearing these fragrances? And would you give anyone any advice about how they can sort of get into these and try them?
More than on any collections, here we are on a collection that is really, there is a soul, which is the infusion of Caroline's soul and memories and my soul and memories. So it's a really personal collection. And so really you have to just approach this collection with a very genuine way of experiencing the perfume. It has to be like, smell it and just, if it touches you and it speaks to you, go for it. If it doesn't speak to you, it's not a problem at all. It has to remain very, like, again, simple and approachable. And it's a very simple collection. And speaking, I'm sure some people will be very touched by it. And so then try them, wear them, and I hope they will become part of our lives.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Quentin. Really appreciate meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.